Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another Last Cloudia stream. Bit of a weird day, I know. I would have started this earlier, but game literally wouldn't let me. uh, the downloads, it has taken me this long, yes. I've been downloading it for the past, I don't know, 3 hours, 4 hours, however long it's taken. I don't know how long at this point. I think it's been 3 hours. It's been 3 hours. It took me that long to download this whole update, and it's still downloading on my phone right now at 93, 94%, 94.5% on my phone right now. So, yes, it has taken me that long, and we'll start this off like we always do. We will be doing everything we normally do. It's just a bit of a weird starting time, but anyways, what we're going to be doing today, I haven't had any time at all to do anything in the game today because I've only literally just been able to log in, so I haven't had any chance to do anything yet. So what we're going to be doing today, like always, first of all, going to have a look at the news and everything, and I am currently on Steam because that downloaded faster than the emulator. I haven't got the emulator downloaded, and I don't plan to do any summons today anyways because of this unit. I'm not super interested in this unit. I'm probably going to be saving until what's coming up next, but we will cover the units very shortly. And we've also got a new Insight unit to check out as well, so definitely some things to check out, but probably not going to be a super long stream because I'm not going to be doing any summons, but I'll still be testing out both of the units at least, so. The select yeah, I'll have a look at that in a bit. First of all, I've only just logged in, I haven't done anything yet. I'm going to have a look at everything in the news first of all, which, now I'm just thinking about it, because I'm on Steam, it's going to open up a web page, so I might need to set that up. Which button was it? I'm not, like, perfectly set up for this, I don't think. I could do display capture, but then that will do the entire screen, and it's not really ideal. I have a Windows capture, but it's... yeah, that should work. Maybe. Thank you very much. An issue be discovered with the arena. They found an issue with the arena apparently, which is good because... I say it's good because it's taken us this long to download things. I'm just going to quickly get up everything in the news first of all. Get up the maintenance notice because I do want to have a look at that real quick. And popularity poll winner, units, and some gachas. We'll have a look at these gachas very soon. I do want to check this maintenance notice and updates and stuff first of all. But I do need to change this first. This. No. I don't know which one would show. That one was okay, fine. Fit the screen. That'll be good enough. I'm just gonna do this real quick to show everything in the maintenance notice first of all, like we always do, so then we're aware of everything that's in this update. And then after that, we'll have a look at the banners and stuff and the new units and stuff like that. So let's start this off by having a look at everything that they've added in today's update. So the reason why this download is such a big download is because you're basically re-downloading the entire game. Because there was an update to Unity, or they did some updates to that, so that is the main reason why it's a big update. But I don't know why the download is taking such a long time. It's been an issue for like a month or so at this point, where the updates and downloads in game are taking a super long time, longer than normal. So I hope they fix that soon, because it's really annoying taking this long just to download. It's ridiculous. So we've got a new unit which we'll be having a look at very soon. She is the popularity poll winner unit, and she sounds interesting, but she is just a damage dealer, and honestly, I think everyone can quite easily skip this unit unless you like this unit. So it's a popularity poll unit. Don't expect much from this unit. She is just a damage dealer, and she's not going to change up the meta or anything at all. So I think she's an easy skip, honestly, for most players. You can skip her quite easily. But I will have a look at her and try to get in a bit very soon. And I think she could be fun, but nothing crazy with this unit really. And the Ark, we'll have a look at that later on as well. And she has a center for those units, of course. And we've got Lanceveil's Insight has been added today. It's been a while since we've had another Insight unit, so it's nice to see another one eventually. It took a few months. The last one was Gorm, but now we've got Lanceveil, and I don't think he's going to be that great, honestly, either. I think both of these units are kind of a bit underwhelming, but I do want to cover them anyways, just to make sure everyone's aware of these units and try them out, because I still like to try them out and explain everything about these units too. He also has a pet equipment, which is can now be Godforge, I think, which I haven't looked at what that is yet, so I do want to check that if I remember. And then the event itself, I haven't had a chance to do this event yet. And unit test play quests, popularity poll winner medals, shredding space, tower trials, all these stuff that always come back. Daily free 10 spin gacha. You can select rate up units. Telestio is still the best one here. If you don't have Telestio yet, then definitely select Telestio as your rate up unit, because he is the best permanent unit still. And if you don't have Lena the Warlock, which I believe is the one that has Insight, definitely select that one too. Both of those units are very useful. And these UR Arks, of course, you've still got Great Wolf, Ruin, and Theopolis are still some of the best UR Arks in the game, so definitely select those if you don't have those yet. And the only one I don't have is this one, so I'm going to be selecting that because I don't have it yet. But this is not guaranteed to get anything from it, so the rate up is very small. This banner you can honestly just skip entirely, unless you really like this unit. It's up to you, but we will cover his Insight first, okay? And this is 5,000 free crystals, you get this unit guaranteed, but it's kind of a bait banner, honestly, because yes, it's a new Insight, but he is mostly a tank unit, and his actual damage is non-existent, so I think he's going to be kind of a mid unit and just not worth pulling for at all. Just no person should be pulling on this one, honestly, even though it's free crystals. It's just not worth doing. And then some promo updates for this is something that's interesting to me. So the video ad for the gacha, so the gacha that you watch ads for, you can now do it 2 times. You can do it twice now, and it includes UR Arks as well, up to Melee Bear. So you do have a small chance of getting UR Ark from there now, so for a short amount of time, which could be nice, but the rates are going to be insanely small, so don't expect anything from that. And then some arena promos, shop updates. Razor Gold Shop does have a unique skin for this unit if you care about it. It does look nice, but I never really care about the skins in this game. And here's some more interesting updates right here. So they have now added the Princes of the Great Tree family to the permanent pool of units. So in every future banner, this unit is going to be in the permanent pool of units now. So you could possibly get her from free tickets now, which is nice. She isn't that amazing, honestly. If you get her, I don't think she's going to have much use for your account, honestly. She might be a fun unit to mess around with. She has her, her healing, which can restore SCT if you've got Spirit Breath, and you can kind of mess around with that. But she isn't anything crazy, so she's mostly a forgettable unit that I'm personally not really going to use if I were to get her, so I don't really care too much about it, honestly. And then we've got Godforge for these units. So Lanceveil does have Godforge for his equipment now. I do want to see what that does, at least. And the rest of these units are kind of... Both of those units are outdated anyway, so I don't think they're Godforge pet equipment isn't really going to matter at all, so I don't think it really matters. And here's a nice improvement. So to laceration, they haven't changed how laceration works yet. All they've done is there is now a laceration gauge icon buff or debuff. It probably doesn't count as a debuff, it's just an icon that shows up on the enemy, so it can fill up, and then when it goes to full, it'll then activate laceration and then go back to 0 again. It's a nice indicator of how close you are to activating laceration, so I do like that. It's nice to see that. And here's something that everyone's been waiting for a super long time, especially me. In the trading space, they've now added the ability to exchange multiple items at once. So now you can exchange multiple things at one time. It's going to save so much time. They should have done this ages ago, but it's nice to see it that it's now in the game that you can exchange for multiple things at once, and not have to just trade for one thing at a time. You can now select everything you want to. It's going to be so much quicker. And not too much other changes really. Made changes to in-game fonts, which I've noticed. I don't know why they've done that. It looks a bit weird, but we'll get used to it, I suppose. It's just a font change, nothing crazy. And then some bug fixes, so there isn't really anything crazy here. There's not too much that's been added in today's updates. It's basically new units and Ark, new events, new Insight units, and that's kind of the main things, really. And then, of course, you've got the permanent unit added to the permanent pool units now, some Godforge equipment, and laceration indicator, which is nice, and the most important quality of life feature right here, which is allowing you to exchange multiple things at once. So some nice changes at least. And now I want to have a look at the other one, which is just currently observed bugs, just because I haven't seen this yet, so I'm just interested in what is here. I just want to check this really quickly. In arena guild battles, laceration may not appear correctly. Yeah, I don't think anything really matters. Yeah, nothing really here, so I think that's everything in the maintenance notes that I want to show. So we'll move on from there to start having a look at everything in the gacha now. And I do want to have a look at the new units very soon. I might as well do select units on here. So if you don't have any units from this yet, these two units are the best units to select here. If you don't have Lena or if you don't have Telestio, definitely select these two because they are still meta units and quite strong. Telestio and Lena are both PvE focused units, honestly. Telestio has been used in PvP for a long time, but he isn't really that useful as he used to be for PvP at least, but he's still very strong for PvE content. I would probably say Lena's the top one priority out of all these units, because you can build her for infinite MP regeneration, and she's the best SET battle unit in the game, so she probably has more value than Telestio. So I would select Lena if you don't have her yet. I'm selecting the one unit I don't have. Probably not going to get her, but it doesn't really matter, and the one Ark I don't have either. But out of all these Arks, Great Wall of Ruin and Theopolis are the two you should be selecting. And if you already got those two, then maybe Archbeing Eldravana is pretty decent, I think. And Councillor 10 is also pretty good. Probably Councillor 10. Well, this one has Favoured Sword like Mega Drive. Either this one or Councillor 10, I suppose, if you already got the other two. I'm really not used to the font yet. It's weird seeing this font, but okay. So I'm going to do that free temple later on, after we look at the unit and stuff. First of all, I'm just going to have a quick look at the current banners that are available. Yes, this unit is now available in the ticket gacha now, and the new Ark is also available in here too. So I might do a couple of tickets, we'll see. And Archbeing Lilebette here has a rerun. Her banner is currently going on for another week. She is an amazing unit, and I did pull for her because I really wanted this unit, because she is insanely useful for PvE content, and even if you have units like Telestio or Emperor Lelouch, she can be better in some situations. So I like this unit quite a bit. I know I've been like back and forth with if I like this unit or not. Like when she came out, I didn't really like this unit because her damage potential was kind of terrible, but as a support unit, she is one of the best support units for PvE content, and she can be viable in PvP as well, so I personally find a lot of value with this unit personally, and she's probably the best unit to pull for out of all the current banners, right now at least. We've got Shinobi Hime Lilebette, which I'll have a look at in a moment, and we've still got Judeka's banner going on for another 2 weeks as well. So Judeka has been tested a lot over the past 2 weeks. I've been using him a lot over the past 2 weeks too. I've been using him in Arena. I haven't had a chance to do guild battles yet because that hasn't started yet. That's going to start today actually. And I've been using him in Battlegraph Simulator. If you've seen that video, highly recommend to check that out if you care about Battlegraph Simulator. I've been using Judeka against the Kraken boss, and he's actually quite good in PvE content for his DPS. Potential is not bad, and he can actually synergize with Archbeing Lilebette. They work well together in the same team, so it's nice to have both these banners available right now, because if you do get both these units, then they can work in one team, and they're pretty good together, so they would be nice to have, honestly. So, first of all, now let's start having a look at this new units and the Ark as well. So this is the popularity poll winner unit. Another shift Lilebette, I know, but it is what it is. People voted for it, it's fine. If you like Lilebette, then get her if you like, but let's have a look at what she does first of all. So, actually, my download should be almost done on my phone, I think. 97%, 98%. Yeah, that should be pretty much done now. 100% done, yeah. I'm going to close that now. So, let's start this off having a look at this unit. So, Shinobi Hime Lilebette is a ice damage dealer. She is a soldier type unit. HP, strength looks pretty good. Mind, higher than defense for some reason. Action resistance, quite interesting to me, because you've got plus 32 fire and plus 42 earth, which is quite a lot, but minus 22 thunder. I don't think she's going to be a PvP unit. She's more of a PvE focused unit. That's what I'm gathering from this, from what I've seen so far. So Element resistance is resistance to curse and stun. Is nice to see for a physical damage dealer, and she doesn't have any illness resistance, but it's not too bad, I suppose. Could have been better, but it's okay. Now let's have a look at her skills. So I don't think her skills are that amazing, honestly. They are kind of a bit underwhelming for skill animations. We'll see them later on. But let's start this off with her skill 1. So skill 1 is a frontal long range ice combo attack. So this is a long range skill, which is nice to have. You can use this anywhere. It shoots, like, throws out that Beyblade, pretty much, and then it comes back. It's like a boomerang. That's kind of what it is. And this is 8 hits, but it does like 4 hits, and then it does another 4 hits on the way back. So it's an interesting skill, but it's not going to be the fastest. 8 hits on a skill 1 is nice on a skill 1 though, but you could use this if you want her to be a long range damage dealer. If you really want to, you can make her just stay far back and spam skill 1. I suppose you could try that. And maybe you could do that in PvP too, but I doubt that will work. But that's a skill 1, not much to it really. It's a long range 8 hits skill 1. And the skill 2, very basic, just a medium area ice combo attack. This one is 14 hits. I don't really have anything else to say about the skill 2. It just looks kind of average, nothing crazy about this one. All of her skills are not going to be that fast. They're kind of mid really. If you're looking for high DPS, I don't think you're going to get much DPS out of this unit compared to... I think Judeka's going to have higher DPS than her, honestly, but I haven't seen her damage caps or anything yet, so we'll wait and see on her testing later on. Skill 3 is probably going to be her main skill. So skill 1 and skill 3 I think are going to be decent skills. This one is a close the gap skill. It does a wide area ice combo attack. During this skill you can't be interrupted by most attacks. So it's interesting that she only has super armor on this skill 3 and not a skill 2 or skill 1. It doesn't really matter for skill 1 because it's a long range attack anyways, but only having a super armor interruption on skill 3 only is interesting. This one is 22 hits. It's kind of slow, honestly. The initial hits are pretty slow. I think it does speed up, but it's quite a slow skill, so I don't think you're going to be getting much DPS out of any of these skills, honestly, because the animations of all of these just look pretty slowly. They look pretty slow to me. So that's that skill. And then her special is another pretty basic special. It's a powerful ice combo attack to one enemy. It's only 48 hits. It's not going to do too much, honestly, unless you have some extra damage cap somewhere. I don't think it's really going to do that much. So those are all of her skills. Nothing crazy here, really. So we will move on to her traits next, because all of these skills are kind of a bit underwhelming, but we'll see the animations later on, probably. So trait 1, ice damage is increased by 50% and damage cap 60,000. 2 ice weapons equipped. 1 skill attacking, chance to deal fatal strike damage. So here is the downside, right? You are forced to use 2 ice weapons, and there are not going to be that many ice weapons in this game, and there are not going to be that many strong ice weapons. So you're very limited on options for weapons with this unit, and if this unit forces you to use a specific weapon type, then that's going to be even more limitations with this unit. I haven't checked that yet, but we'll see that soon if she needs a specific weapon. I'm hoping she can use any weapons she wants, because requiring 2 ice weapons to be able to have a chance to deal fatal strike damage is a very, big limitation, right? A big condition that you must try to get, because fatal strike damage is quite significant. It can be quite a decent DPS boost from fatal strike. So highly recommend to have 2 ice weapons. I'm gonna look at recommended equipment options later on if I remember, but yeah, it kind of sucks you need to have 2 ice weapons and not just 1 ice weapon. 1 ice weapon would have been fine, but the fact you have to have 2 ice weapons, not everyone's going to be able to have 2 strong ice weapons is the issue. Shadow Clone buff active, so it doesn't say anything about activating Shadow buff. It just says here what Shadow Clone buff does. So I believe she has a magic spell that can cast Shadow Clone buff. I think that's the only way that she can get it, but we'll see that once we get to it. But first of all, let's see what this buff does. So the Shadow Clone buff, when it's active, there's a chance to nullify physical and magic damage taken, and it also gives skills and special extra attacks. So because she is a dual wield type unit, all of these extra attacks are going to get doubled because she's dual wield. So skill 1 is going to get an extra 4 hits, so that will be doubled, plus 8 hits if you're dual wielding. So now you've got 16 plus another 8, like 24. I don't want to do too much math, but the dual wield hit counts should be pretty decent. And then skill 2 gets another 6 hits, which would be another 12 hits dual wields. And then skill 3 gets another 8 hits, another 16 hits dual wields. And then special gets another 20 hits. I don't think she has true dual wields. It would have been nice if she did, but I don't think she does. Extra 20 hits to her special is going to make it 68 hits, which is okay, I suppose, but really depends on her actual damage caps in her base kit. But yeah, nothing crazy there, but these extra hit counts do help, but I don't think they're going to save the fact that these animations are kind of not great, but we'll try them out later on. So that's the trait 1. It's got some nice stuff here though. It's got chance for fatal strike, and it's got gives your skill extra hits as well. So more hits, more fatal strike, gonna be quite nice, I think. And her trait 2, damage taken minus 40%. When taking lethal damage, survive and very greatly restore HP, and restore 1 SET stock for 1 skill, up to 3 times each wave. And when you survive lethal damage, you teleport to a random position on the field. So we've had an effect like this before on, I believe it was on the base form of Zaix. Is when you take damage, you have a chance to teleport. It's kind of like that. When you survive lethal damage, you instantly teleport to a random place on the map, which could be a good and bad thing. Reason why it could be a bad thing is if you only have your skill 2 available and you take lethal damage, then you have to get in, you know, line of sight to be able to use that skill 2 again. But she does have a long range skill 1 and a close the gap skill 3, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. And it could be interesting to make her a long range damage dealer with skill 1, and then if she gets sniped by something, she instantly teleports. But it really depends on the randomness of this position, because let's say, for instance, you're using her in arena, right? And she takes lethal damage and she survives it. Then she randomly teleports, and it ends up being like, I don't know, in where the enemies are or something. She could teleport into a random position that could be an even worse position than where she was, right? That's the kind of the issue, is it's random. She could teleport to a more dangerous position, you know, but it's going to be fun seeing her teleport all over the place, but she can only do that 3 times per wave. But here's the big but, right? Is that this is when surviving lethal damage, it insta moves to a random position on the field, meaning that this is as many times as possible every single time she survives lethal damage. So that means it's not just 3 times each wave, because you can stack on other skills like determination to give another, you know, teleport effect, technically. So that could be nice. But there really isn't much to this trait too. She just takes less damage, and when surviving lethal damage, she recovers SCT and HP and teleports. So that's kind of the entire trait too, which doesn't add too much to this unit's kit, honestly. But still an interesting trait, I have to say. She's like a she's basically a ninja. It's kind of what she is, which it makes sense. So now let's have a look at her passive skills. So here is the Shadow Clone buff. So now, here it is. It requires 200 MP, by the way. And what this does is it gives this unit the Shadow Clone buff for 20 seconds, and it restores 1 SET stock for all skills. Now, it is quite nice, but it does require 200 MP. It doesn't use all of the unit's MP though, so technically you could stack a bunch of MP and be able to cast it more than once before having to restore more MP, but I don't think she'll have that much MP because she's not like a support or anything. I don't think she scales off of intelligence either, so it would have been better if she scaled off of intelligence and had high MP or something. That would have been nice, because then she would have more MP to cast this more often. Would have been nice. But this could be a nice skill to restore SET, and you can give her Goddess Kiss, which she actually already has, so she could be a decent SET regeneration unit, because ideally you want to have 2 ice weapons, right? So 2 ice weapons, she already has Goddess Kiss, restore MP for this, it could be nice. But here's the one thing that I don't really like, is the fact that you are forced to cast this, right? And it lasts 20 seconds, so every 20 seconds you're basically forced to cast it. Now, you could increase the buff duration slightly from equipment and stuff, but it's not going to increase it by that much, and you're still going to be forced to cast it every once in a while to have the Shadow Clone buff active. And what that buff does is it gives you more hit counts, so, and chance to nullify damage as well. I do like the more automatic buffs, and what I mean by that is a buff that could reapply itself every time you kill an enemy or something like that, because then you don't actively have to cast it, because when you're forced to cast it, you're using that time just to cast it, and in that time that you're casting it, you're not actually outputting DPS. But there is a thing with that though, is that doesn't really matter too much if the buff just if the spell just casts like a few milliseconds or 1 second to cast anyways. So if it's one of those spells that just cast instantly and then allows you to instantly use skills afterwards, then it's not really going to be a problem, I think. And she does have another unique magic spell right here, which I can barely read from here, but this one gives blind to enemies in a wide area, and there's a chance to give gloom. Now, if you don't know what gloom does, it's basically just an improved version of blind, but also applies to magic, I think. And gloom and blind will stack. So think of like a ninja that has a smoke bomb. It's basically just a smoke bomb, and it gives enemies blind guaranteed unless they have resistance or nil to blind, and it has a chance to give gloom as well. I don't think it's going to be that amazing, honestly. The only way this could be useful is for gloom, right? Because blind itself isn't really that much of an issue, really, but having gloom and blind, having the chance to have both of them active could be something, I suppose. It could help for some damage mitigation, I suppose, but I don't know. You have to spend the time to cast it too, so I probably would never really use it, but it's a way to cast gloom, I suppose. It could sometimes be useful in the future, you never know. And now let's go on to passive skills down here. Fighting Spirit 5, Resolve up 5, Heroism up max. Sun Flame, enemy attention draw -2 and chance to evade physical and magic attacks. This will stack with Illusion and any other effect that has a chance to evade attacks. And you know what could be funny with this unit is stacking a bunch of, evade effects with this unit, because she already has chance to evade when you have this buff active, and she's also going to have Sun Flame, and you can also put on Illusion, and she also survives lethal damage, so it could be something, maybe. Brute Buster, physical special counter, Brute Buster, Slayer effect, which is nice. Brute Shield 2, so you can definitely tell already that she's more of a PvE focused unit, not really PvP focused, because there aren't really many. Well, yeah, there are creatures in Arena, but those Benimaru has a anti-Slayer accessory anyways, a immune nullifies Slayer effect on his paid accessory anyways, and Judeka nullifies Slayer with his buff active too, so Slayer doesn't really matter against those two units. Anti-type Breakthrough 4, more damage cap, Auto Grant Aura, should have had EX Aura, but whatever. Auto Haste, Ice Terror Drive, Ice Attack Raise 2 and 5, Pose of Victory, Spirit Breath, Goddess Kiss, which is very nice, Sky High 4, Terramel 4. She has Terramel 4 because of the chance to inflict, blind and gloom. That's the reason why she has Terramel. That's the only reason, really. God Step Jutsu, it boosts movement speed. I don't think we've seen this one before. It is just a movement speed passive skill, but it might be a higher movement speed increase than other skills. I'm going to guess that to be the case. Armor Piercer, chance for enemy defense -30%, deal damage. Dual Wield, I wish she had True Dual Wield, she really should have. She really should have had True Dual Wield. But she's a Dual Wield unit. And Unclad Power, Sword Giga Boost, Machine Boost and Giga Boost. Here's the issue, right? Is she has Sword Giga Boost and Machine Boost and Giga Boost, so they kind of want you to use a sword and a machine, but she also wants 2 ice weapons. So, are there even any good ice machines in the game? I don't think so. I can think of one. There's an event ice machine, and it's kind of bad. And I can think of one. Well, I can think of like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 ice swords. I know there are good ice swords, but not ice machines. Ice machines are very rare. We don't have many of those. That's the problem. And she kind of wants a machine, because machine's very important for PvE content. But how are you going to use an ice machine if you don't have one, is the problem. And if you do have one, it's probably not that great. So, kind of limiting that. I hope they put one in the event or something. That could be nice, but I haven't checked. Quick trigger, giant killing 5, and then we get on to her unique skills right here. During skill 3, damage taken minus 80%, which is a hell of a lot of damage mitigation. Is it gonna be enough to survive units in arena and guild battles? Probably not, because the moment she is out of that skill animation, she's just basically gonna die instantly. Well, she could survive lethal damage and teleport, so I don't know. Like, in theory, this type of thing could be good, but I just think for this unit in particular, it's probably not going to be that good. For arena and PvP, I'm thinking of. Skill 3 damage, 40% damage cap plus 50,000. So they kind of want you to use her skill 3 the most. Okay. And the next one, on boss waves, increase strength by 50%. Physical attack and special damage cap 20,000 when physical and special attack and enemy defense minus 15%. So guaranteed piercing right there, and strength and damage cap is very useful. And the next one, when surviving lethal damage with the traits, give a physical magic attack damage taken minus 50% buff to the unit, and there is also a chance to nullify physical and magic attack damage taken. So that's quite interesting. This is another skill that has an effect to evade or nullify physical and magic damage. So another effect to stack nullifying damage could be fun to just stack all of the evade effects as much as possible and see what happens. I would like to see what would happen if you do that. Stack on all the equipment and everything for evade effects. It's probably not going to be very good, honestly, but it would be funny if that would be the case. You just stack... You know what? You could stack evade effects and try to spam blind and gloom. That would be funny, but it's not going to be a guaranteed, like, miss everything situation. It would be hilarious if that would happen, but it's probably not going to be the case. And the last one here, sword or machine equipped, increase skill and special damage 30%, damage cap 30,000. Sword and machine equipped, sword and machine strength increased by 200%, and skill attack fatal strike damage cap 30,000. Okay. So they do want they want you to have a sword and a machine at the same time. More strength and more fatal strike damage cap right there. And then sixth enhanced skills right here, we've got when you have 2 weapons equipped, more damage and damage cap, more special damage cap, take less damage, 1% fatal strike chance, which is very nice. Ice weapon equipped, of course. And the last one, even more movement speed and chance to nullify damage when you're moving. Okay, great. So they definitely heavily leaned into the ninja play style with this unit. That's what it seems like to me. And it sounds interesting, right? Like, she could be this very fast unit that can evade attacks and can teleport, right? Like, in theory it sounds cool, but in practice, is it going to be any good? I don't think so, honestly. I don't think she's going to be that great of a unit. I think her kit is interesting and could be fun to mess around with. And if you like Lilebette, then get this unit if you like, but she's not going to be a meta unit, I don't think. Because, based on what I'm seeing so far, I don't think it's enough to be viable in PvP with the current meta that's going on with Judeka, Logzaeus, Benimaru, all those types of units, and Amelia. I don't think she's really going to be able to fit into the current meta because the current meta is very, quite difficult right now. So I don't think she's really going to work there. Maybe you could make her like a long range damage dealer and spam skill 1, possibly. But, she's going to do like negative damage, like no damage at all to Judeka, because Judeka has such high ice resistance, so I don't think Lilibette's really going to work against him. But in PvE content, she could be okay. But we'll have to wait and see on her when I try her out later on in the unit test play quest. But I have to say, don't expect much from this unit. I think she could be a fun unit to mess around with, but that's pretty much it. I don't think she's really going to be that good compared to all the other units we have right now. And I can say Judecca is a better unit than this unit, because Judecca even has a charisma, and Lilibette is just a damage dealer. Like, she doesn't provide anything at all to the team apart from blind and potential gloom if you want to cast it, and she doesn't have anything else that she can give to the team. She's just a generic damage dealer with some, you know, ninja type skills. That's pretty much it, really. So I'll try her out later on. She does pretty much need a sword and machine. I'll look at some equipment options in a bit. Now let's have a look at the Ark next. So this is a SSR Ark, which is nice to see an SSR Ark, because we always get UR Arks. So let's see what this one does. Mind is decreased by 15%, but increased strength by 15%. When hitting weakness with ice, increase skill damage by 35%. When defeating an enemy from a skill, restore that skill's SCT by 10 seconds. That SCT regen could be quite nice, honestly. When physically attacked and far enough from enemy, damage taken minus 40%. That is quite a lot. So for long range damage dealers, that could be quite nice. For a long range ice damage dealer, potentially. So you could give it to the new Lilibette and get her to spam skill 1. Or I don't think there's really any other long range ice damage dealers that are currently meta, really. Or, well, some are Sarah, but it's not really. Yeah, but it's an okay trait. I think it's decent for an SSR Ark at least. The levelable skills on this one: ice weak point boost, so ice attribute weakness damage plus 10%. This one could be nice for Amelia, actually, and any ice damage dealer that can hit weakness, this one could be quite nice for those units, so that's nice. Ice rush, if you don't already have that, that could be a good skill. Terramelf 2, Sniper Saber. Now here are some more interesting skills. Laceration Accelerator is a new one. When using a skill, laceration count given to target enemy plus 20%. Now here's the thing, right? I think it just means plus 20% laceration and not like anything crazy. And that is like a very super tiny small amount that is basically nothing, right? So the only units this could potentially be useful on is like Archbeing Labref, and that's kind of it, really, unless you want to put this on like Lena or something, I suppose. But 20% for 6 SC is really not that good, is it? No. And Laceration is still a... I haven't changed my mind on Laceration. Laceration still sucks. But Archbeing Labref is the only unit that they've kind of done it semi-decently, decent enough to be useful, because she has supportive skills and stuff. But on a normal unit, Laceration doesn't really do very much. And then we have this skill down here, which we have seen before, by the way. It was on a UR Ark, but now it's available on an SSR Ark. When using a skill, give laceration count. So this is the laceration skill, basically. And activates laceration and stuff. 15 SC, very expensive, never worth using it, but it's only ever using this on a support unit, really. That's kind of it. So I think the learnable skills are interesting, but nothing crazy, really. Messing around with laceration, and this is an SSR Ark, is quite nice. I do think it's quite nice to have laceration on an SSR Ark, because it was locked behind a UR Ark before. Yeah, like, I think ever had Laceration or someone, but Laceration still sucks, right? So Laceration by itself is never really going to do too much until they rework it in the future, which I believe they did mention that they were going to adjust it at some point. That's what I'm waiting for. Maybe in the future it'll be more useful than it is currently, but currently it's just a waste of SC on basically every single unit, apart from like, if you could put it on a support unit if you have spare SC, just for like some slight tiny bit of damage, but that's the only situation where I would use it, really. And the Archival reward on this, for some reason, I don't know why, missed opportunity right here. Why is it an Ice Axe? I don't know why it's an Ice Axe. It could have been an Ice Machine, and that would have been perfect. That would have been just what the new Lilebette needed. But it's an Ice Axe. Why is it an axe? It shouldn't have been axe. It really should have been a machine instead, but oh well. HP strength and some mind. When ice physical attacking, boost damage and damage cap based on distance, maximum 25% and 3000 damage cap. It's a decent weapon. It's nothing crazy, but it's alright. It's decent for a SSR Ark Ether Reward weapon, I suppose. It's not bad. But yeah, everything about this Ark is okay. It would be nice to have it, but never chase for it because it's an SSR Ark. You can get this from any banner, and you can even get it from the free pools as well. It should be available in the current free banners. I think it should be. So don't try and chase for this one. You'll get it eventually in the future. It doesn't have anything crazy on it, but it would be nice to have it to like put Laceration on Lena. Would be very nice. I would honestly like to do that, just to add like 30 mil extra damage, which could help like a very tiny small amount, but it's something. It's something at least. So that's that. That's everything about this banner. Now I want to have a look at her paid equipment, which I haven't actually seen yet. She does have two equipments, paid equipments, which is expected. She does have an ice machine, paid machine, which is, you know, we expected that to happen. So ice machine, strength for mind, 2 weapons equipped, ice skill damage 40%, damage cap 5000, fatal strike rate plus 1%. Of course, they're going to have more fatal strike chance on a paid weapon. If you really want this unit to reach maximum potential, then this is going to be great, but it's unnecessary. I mean, yes, it's an ice machine. We don't have many ice machines, like 1 or 2 ice machines in the game that are available right now. This would be a good increase. It would be very nice to have it, but I don't recommend getting it because she's a type of unit that I don't think is worth getting paid equipments for, because she is just a damage dealer that there are already better options than her, so it's kind of unnecessary. Now let's have a look at the accessory. This has a lot of words, a lot of words going on. Strength, defense, mind. When taking lethal damage, survive on 1 HP and recover HP once per wave. When surviving lethal damage, give a buff unit a buff that nullifies 100% of max HP damage taken. Yeah, that's the only one I have as well. Skill 2, fatal strike rate plus 1.5%. Tell me why it's skill 2 and not like skill 3 instead. It's kind of stupid if you ask me. Why would it be skill 2 fatal strike rate when she has a skill in her kit that increases skill 3 damage and damage cap, although skill 3, and she even takes less damage when using her skill 3. So you're telling me that she has that in a kit, and then she has this paid accessory, which is trying to boost her skill 2 fatal strike rate for whatever reason. And skill 2 was never a focus in her kit, and up until now. It's a bit weird. Yeah, honestly, this is just kind of... It's interesting, but unnecessary. You don't need this one. It doesn't really give you very much, honestly, if you think about it. You survive lethal damage again, one more time, and you get a buff to nullify 100% of your max HP as damage taken, and skill 2 fatal strike rate. That's pretty much it. You do get some illness and silence resistance and some thunder resistance, but The weapon's better than the accessory, honestly. The weapon's a lot better. So if you were to pick one, the weapon would be the better option. But I don't recommend getting any of these, honestly, because I don't think she's the type of unit that's worth getting paid equipments for, honestly, unless you really like this unit. I'll wait and see what her actual DPS numbers look like, but I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. It's probably going to be a bit below average. So that's her paid equipments. That's everything about her paid equipments. But I don't think there's anything else here yet. There are some good stuff in these events, by the way. Also, I do want to show you the magic button you can do now. Hallelujah, we can finally do it now. It's going to save so much time, I can't wait. I wish this would have been a thing ages ago. You really should have. It's going to save so much time. This is why I haven't been emptying out the event trading spaces, because I just can't be bothered. It takes so much time. But now you can have this magic button to trade everything. Amazing. I love that. That's my favourite part of this update. Anyways, that's going to be everything about this unit at the moment. I will showcase the unit. What now? Don't tell me. Oh crap. You seeing this? Hang on, no, you're not seeing it. Not that one. The guild battle bugs again. Guild battle periods will be postponed again. Bloody hell. It's just like, at least it's only not very long. At least it's not going to be very long, but jeez, okay, whatever. Oh, it's so annoying. Whatever. Let's continue. At least I don't have to worry about that yet. So I do want to do some summons, but I'm not going to be doing any, you know, paid gacha summons, because I'm not on my emulator right now, because I'm currently on Steam. I'm not going to be doing that one because I'm just not interested in this unit. I did spend some crystals on Archbishop Lilebette's banner. It took me like 123 pulls to get her from this banner. And I did get the other paid equipment for Judeka as well, so I do want to save for now. So I'm not going to be pulling for this unit personally, but I will still be doing this free 10 pull and maybe some tickets. And then I do want to showcase the unit as well. And we've also got to showcase the Insight unit as well. And of course, my luck on free pulls is always garbage. The permanent Ark and this unit is now available from tickets. I might as well use my tickets that have a time limit. I might as well. There's not going to be anything in them, but it would be funny. I don't think it's really worth using guaranteed unit or Ark tickets, is it? Probably not, but I'm going to use a couple tickets anyways. And then I will I should go over recommended equipment for this unit, but it's going to be you'll be very limited on options. I think I should just keep saving my unit tickets, honestly, because the permanent unit is available from the free summons anyways. So I might just use my normal tickets. to see if I can get the Ark. And then we'll leave it there. And then I'll have a look at the unit and stuff. And Insight unit as well. Obviously everything is going to be a dupe, but you never know with this. There's no point watching them because it's just normal tickets. And you get dupes all the time. Because I got everything apart from 2 specific things, so chance of getting one of those 2 is just like 0. Almost 0. Yeah, that's all the tickets I'm gonna use, I think. No reason to chase for any of those tickets. I could use that temple ticket. Or that one. Sure, why not? I'll use that one. Yeah. I'll save the rest though, I think. And I'm going to be skipping the rest of these banners for now. Because I do want to save for... I know Brave Frontier collab is going to be coming up very soon. So I definitely want to save for that. Well... Okay, so what we're going to do next is... I'm going to quickly have a look at some recommended equipments for the new Lilebettes. And then I will start showcasing the new units. And the Insight unit. But before I do the showcase for the units, I kind of want to look at the equipment, the Godforge equipment. I kind of want to do that first because I haven't seen the Godforge equipment yet. And let me have a look at the training space first of all. So if you go to Crimson or training space, you'll see that the pet equipment for Lanceveil will now be available in here somewhere. If you can spot it. Which I've definitely gone past it already. I just want to see what it is. So as a weapon, what is it like when it's Godforged? That's all I want to know. Godforged weapon, I think it's a sword. I just want to see what it is because I haven't seen it yet. That's the other one. The base form is going to be towards the bottom probably. Yeah, so Godforge for his weapon is strength defense, spout start, plus 20% of defense to strength, regular attack deal extra thunder damage, damage taken when guarding minus 40%, guard rate 5%, defense 12%. So it does seem like his only tanking capabilities are going to be when he's guarding, because he has more guard rates and 40% damage taken when guarding, which is quite insane if you ask me, and some more defense. But I'll cover more on that unit very soon, a little bit. I don't think he's going to be that great, honestly, though. But let me have a look at some recommended equipments for the new Lilebette. So the new Lilebette is an ice damage, dual wield damage dealer, and she does pretty much need 2 ice weapons and a sword and a machine, so she's very limited on equipment options. But I know for a fact there is one very strong ice sword that hopefully most players should have, and that is this one. Sub-Zero Blade Zestina. This one is a very strong ice sword because you get SAT by 3 seconds when you defeat an enemy, and you also get 25% ice physical damage. This one is probably her best in the slot ice sword, honestly, and everyone's going to be using this one on her, I think, because this one's just very good. If you don't have that one yet, then this one is from S or Rare Ark or something, so pretty much everyone should have that at this point. It's not that great though, and you've also got Phantom Ice Blade, which gives some damage cap and some damage, so that one could be decent as well if you don't have Zestina yet. And that's kind of the only options that you've got for ice swords. And for machines, you have even less options, if you see. You literally got this one. That's it. You got this one, and that's it. Unfortunately, don't have any other ice machines available. If there are, then I don't have them yet. but it kind of sucks. There's a transmuted ice sword, yeah, sure, okay. That one could be good too. I think I remember that one, but Zestina's still my favorite one. And the transmutated gears just take way too much orb recoveries. It takes too long to get those. Not really worth it. So the issue is this is basically your only ice weapon option. I believe everyone should be able to get it from the Chronicles Christmas event. One of those. So at least it's accessible, but there aren't any good ones, which is the problem. And you need to have two ice weapons to be able to have Fatal Strike chance. So you kinda need to use an ice machine, and this is probably the only option that players are going to have, unfortunately. But critical rate isn't that bad. You could give her Icy Guardian, and this giving more crit rate can be useful, so from Casino, well, great. Casino, I should really get that finished off, but it's so boring. It's so boring. But yeah, maybe if you have enough patience, or you can just use an auto clicker and get that, sure, why not? I suppose you should probably do that if you really want to use this unit, but it'll take some time to get that. So those are kind of the only options for weapons, honestly. You've got ice swords, you've got a couple of ice sword options, honestly, like 4 ice sword options. Transmutated sword, not many players are going to have that. I think more players are going to have Zestina than that one. And ice machine, you've got this one's kind of, most players can have this one. Not as many are going to have one from Casino, but some are going to have that. And then accessories, I think she should have a good amount of accessory options. Let's go to the bottom to show the best ones first of all. Skill damage and damage cap is always great. This one is from, you know, one of those forbidden relics. So if you have this one done, then this one's going to be amazing because ice damage and critical rate is going to be very good. So if you have that one made, then definitely use that for the new Lilebette because critical rate and ice damage is amazing. And more critical rate is going to be great for Icy Guardian build too. This one's also great if you have this. It is from a collab, I think, but ice damage is always nice. You're just pretty much looking for ice damage or physical damage, something like that. This one's great because critical rate and damage cap to bosses. This one could be nice. It's a pretty good one. I do like this one. This is one of my favorite accessories for the crit rate and damage cap, which is perfect for an Icy Guardian unit. Well, if you're using Icy Guardian on a unit, that's going to be an amazing accessory to use. Skill and counter damage and more strength could be useful. Ice attack damage and intelligence. She doesn't scale off of intelligence, but the ice damage will still be nice. Skill damage. This one's always great for anti-type damage and weakness damage, so you do have some options for accessories. This one gives ice damage, so yeah, and there is also mithril relief, like always, and this one when you have a machine equipped as well. So you do have a good selection of accessory options. You just don't have many weapon options, honestly. So you're kind of locked to certain weapons for the unit, but accessories you have a lot of options, and crest, of course, you'll be going for something like ice damage or strength, sword, or machine boosts. Any of those traits are going to be good for her. Really. Like, this one would be amazing. Sword and machine boost and strength would be ideal. Something like this would be amazing for her. It's almost a perfect, this is basically a perfect roll crest. I'm not going to brag about it, I just want to show you that that's probably what you would be looking for the Shinobi Lilebette, and that's pretty much it for recommended equipment for that unit. And now let's move on to the showcase part of the stream, where I now try out this unit, and after we've done everything with this unit, I will then start having a look at the Insight units, and then probably finish up after that. So yeah, the stream's not going to be that long, but it is what it is. It's still going to be pretty fun though to try out this unit though, I think. So 6,000 strength. Obviously they got both paid equipments. Yeah, this must be the transmutated weapon ice sword. This gives damage and damage cap, and even more damage. This one is an amazing sword. I do kind of want to get it at some point, but I don't know. Zestina's still very good, but it might be better than Zestina. It's going to have more damage than the Zestina blade. That's a fact. I kind of want it at some point. So let's try her out in the unit test play quest now. I haven't done this yet. I did see the video though, so I kind of have an idea of what she's going to be like. So 14,000 strength is actually pretty nice, considering this is just a base kit, so that's quite nice, but she does have more strength from the Ark trait, so remember that. So normal attack is a close range normal attack, by the way. But it is decently fast, and it's 8 hits dual wield, so it's not that bad. You can see the MP regeneration is from Goddess Kiss. She's getting 999 back from that, so that's pretty good. But because she doesn't have a long range normal attack, she's not going to be the best for normal attacking. She is quite quick. Now let's start off with her skill 1. All of her skills are kind of slow. Her damage cap isn't that high compared to some other units. I suppose it's kind of average. Fatal Strike is always going to be fun. And if I try and spam this skill 1, you can see it's not going to be that spammable. It's okay, but the DPS isn't that high. But I still think I think it could be a decent skill to spam this, because it basically goes through the enemy and then comes back. So I wonder if it tracks the enemy, because if it doesn't, then it could miss, and that would be annoying. Something I'm thinking about. I think because she's located here, I don't think it's going to activate backstab. Like, yes, this is going out and then coming back and technically hitting them from behind, but I don't think that counts as a backstab, because the unit actually has to be located behind the enemy, and because she is still located in front of the enemy, I don't think he's going to activate a backstab. That's my guess. Now, skill 2 is a close range skill. She does have more Fatal Strike chance from her paid accessory on her skill 2, by the way. But this is just nothing crazy. Like, the skill 2 is a bit slow. I don't really see anyone ever using this skill 2, because it's just not that great to me. The skill 2 isn't that good. I mean, the animation is nice, and it launches the enemy in the air. But that's the only positives I can think about. You know what I would have liked to see is something like a Phantom Thief Robin, or something like... Because Robin is the... and Yashimaru, those two units are like ninjas as well. I would have liked to see something like Yashimaru's skill 3, which, you know, has clones and a bunch of slashes and teleports all over the place. Stuff like that would have been very cool. But yeah, I'm not that excited about her skill 2. Now, let's try her skill 3 next, which should be a bit better than skill 2 at least. The issue with the skill 3 is, look how slow the initial hits are. Like, it goes up to 18 or so, and then it speeds up. But look how slow those initial hits are. That's the downside. The damage cap is higher on her skill 3 because she does have a skill in a kit that increases damage and damage cap of that. If I try and spam it... Oh, that's terrible. That's so bad. So bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. I'm disappointed. Like, you couldn't make it worse, and then you made it worse. You like, you could have at least allowed you to spam the skill 3 while it's still going on or something and still be decent. Like, with Judecca's skill 3, I'm bringing his up for a reason. His extra hits on his skill 3, right? They go off, and then he can use another skill 3 at the same time, so they're both going off at the same time, and you can, like... That's why DPS for his skill 3 in particular is quite good. But for this unit, it waits like many years just to finish the skill 3 just using another one. It feels awful. I'm just spam this button. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. Yeah, skip this unit. I don't usually say that, but like, I'm disappointed with this skill 3. Because of the fact that there's such a long delay. It's so long. It's like... It takes like an entire 3 seconds. Like, it's like 3-second animation right there. And you can't even reduce that animation in any way. Like, let's try to combo some skills together and see if it's going to make a difference. I don't think it is. It doesn't. Yes, the skill 3 launches the enemy in the air, like, a lot. Like, very high. But... it's too slow, it's so painful. Special time. There is one thing I need to do. Use her buff. Yeah, like, it's cool and all, but... why doesn't it do more hits? Let's use the Shadow Clone buff now. Maybe it'll be better. That's not bad. That's actually quite solid now. For skill 1. And that's not terrible. But what about skill 3? Is it still terrible? Yep, it still takes many years. I hate it so much. Oh, I never hated a skill so much in my life. So that gives blind guaranteed because they're at 0. And there's a chance to give gloom. Let me see how long it takes to get gloom. It's not very reliable, is it? It really isn't. It's like the most unreliable. It's just taking so long. Like, you can't be joking. It's so bad. The chance of this much be, like, incredibly small, because I haven't even afflicted it once yet. Like, I'm not even joking. The chance to give gloom, I've casted it how many times? I'm not even, I've lost count. Where's gloom? It doesn't exist. It doesn't. Where is it? Tell me where it is. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that stream too. They did it, like, they casted it once and activated. False advertising, man. Doesn't actually do that in practice. They were lucky. They rigged it to do that on purpose. Because now look at it. It's not even activating it once, and I've casted it like 20 times. Unless it's bugged and it can't actually inflict gloom. I just want to see gloom. Please? One time. Hello, game? Come on! Yeah, well, it's not... Okay. I don't know what to say. Gloom doesn't exist. There's still no gloom. Look, it's not there. Not here. No gloom. Just blind. I've casted it like a million times and it's not happening. Not even once. I have to be here until it happens for science. I have to now. I'm committed to the bit now. I can't stop. Is it bugs? There it is. Jesus Christ, that took such a long time. Just for one element. Holy crap. Oh, god damn it. I'm so unimpressed right now. Like, you won't believe how unimpressed I am at this. It took like 1 entire minute of continuous casting of a debuff just to inflict that once. Maybe I'm the unluckiest person ever. Who knows? But yeah. The special with the extra hit counts. What does Gloom do? Well, it should tell you what it does. Chance to make physical and magic attacks miss. So, Gloom and Blinds. Basically Gloom is Blinds, but it also applies to magic, that's all it does. Gloom is just a better version of Blinds, and they will both stack at the same time. I'm gonna retry and do that again, just because there's no way I was that unlucky. Like, there's... One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, don't say the next number, 8, it took 8, 8, so that took 8, yeah, like, I'm disappointed with this unit, if you can't tell, I'm very disappointed. Right, now I'm going to do something that you would like to see, which is how fast can I kill this enemy? Because certain other... I think the unit test play quest for Judecca should still be available right now. Good point. I actually want to do a... If I can compare those two DPS numbers. Now, it's not available because it's gone, that's sad. But I was going to say I could compare both of their... But they don't want to do that because they know how... they don't want you to compare them because they know how bad the unit is. But I just wanted to prove a point that Judecca's DPS is going to be higher than her DPS. So, she teleports back to where she was. That's good to know. So because she does that, that means she can technically be a long-range damage dealer, right? For like PvP purposes. You could put her in like a corner, use a skill 3. Yes, she'll go close up and use a skill, but then she'll teleport back here. Which is nice. But I don't think it's going to be enough to make her viable. It's still going to be bad. Probably. Like, I doubt she hits hard in Arena. It's probably not going to happen. But man, I've never been so disappointed from a skill 3 in my entire life. Like, and the fact that it took that long just to inflict Gloom. Must be joking. Ah, jeez. Well, that's Shinobi Lilebette. If you can tell, yeah, I'm not very impressed with this unit. She's kind of bad. She's kind of bad. She's not very good because that skill 3 takes so long just to use that skill 3. The delay between the next time you can use a skill after the skill 3 is just so long. It's just painfully slow and not fun to use in my opinion. But her skill 1 could be decent. Skill 2 isn't that bad. I think skill 1 and skill 3 for PvP could be decent skills, but I don't think she's going to work in PvP. So, based off her kit that I've seen, I don't think she's going to work in PvP. And Judeka existing, I don't think she's really going to work at all. She's probably still going to die instantly once she uses skill 3, so yeah, I don't have any hope for this unit. I really don't. Because I just think she's already been power crept. They could have done, you know, at least given her faster animations. Because here's the funny thing, right? Ninjas are all about being quick, right? And silent, right? But she's not quick. She's slow as hell. Especially that skill 3, it's slow. That's not what a ninja's supposed to do. They're supposed to have very quick, you know, animations and skills and stuff, but she has the opposite of that. Slow, kind of mid-average, below-average skills, animations. You know, it's just, it's sad. And her actual kit, I don't think she really has enough damage for PvP. I really don't think she has enough damage for PvP. Based on her kit, at least. Yeah, she probably doesn't have enough. So, yeah, I think she's an easy skip for basically everyone. Unless you really like this unit. So, yeah, I don't know why they always completely shaft all of these units. When have we had a good player's choice unit? Have we had one? Magius, I think he was the best one that we had, and he was the first one. And then the second one we had, Lolly Ha, she was kind of below average, outdated immediately. And now we got this Lilibet, which is just kind of bad. So, Magius was the only decent one, because Magius is Magius, right? When a Magius gets released, you know it's going to be good, because Magius is always going to be good. I say that, but you know what they did with Bayland, so they could do it with Magius too. I just hope not. Why did they do that to Bayland, man? I don't know. I'll never know. The unfortunate thing about that is they're probably never going to have another Bayland shift because of the bad response of the unit. It's unfortunate, but oh well. Yeah. This Lilibet's kind of... I'm not a fan. I'm really not. Let's move on to the Insight unit next. Maybe this will be slightly better. Spoiler, it's not going to be. It's really not. You're not going to get much better than that. It's not going to be any. It's not going to be any uphill from where. It's just going to be kind of a steady slope downwards, I think, from here on out. Let's have a look at the Insight unit now. So Lanceveil is the new Insight unit today. Don't expect much from this unit, really, because he is just a tank. And he's mostly going to be PvP, a PvP unit. But is he even going to work there? Let's find out. So let me quickly bring up my list of exactly what has changed with this unit. And I want to show off, let everyone know exactly what has changed and what has been added with this unit's Insight. So, Lanceveil is a knight. He has always been more of like a tank type unit, which makes sense. So his actual skills with Insight did get changed very slightly. His skill 1 is now a medium area, skill 2 is now a wide area, skill 3 is now a close the gap skill. The good thing about skill 3 is it has a chance to give stun, so that has always been a thing and has never changed. His special now attacks all enemies instead of a single target, so those got changed quite nice. And now let's have a look at, let me just check quickly what his trait does, just to remind everyone if you haven't seen this yet. Boost defense and mind based on how low HP it is, when near death, nullify, anti-type effects and criticals, boost chance to guard, thunder damage, damage cap, enemy attention drawn, rage resistance, kind of whatever. I mean, he is a very old unit and these traits haven't changed in many years, but the trait one could be okay, I suppose, for a tank. Now let's have a look at the new skills he has. So here, with Insight, he got Heroism up 4. So more defense and HP is going to be good. Resolve up max as well. Defense mind. Adamantium, which will be down here somewhere. More defense and mind based on how low your health is. Same thing that Melza has. But he's going to be worse than Melza, probably. Sword Giga Boost for some reason, even though he's not even a damage dealer. It's kind of useless. And Two-Handed Sword Boost 4 as well, kind of useless because he's just a tank. Thunder Enhance, same thing, kind of useless because he is just a tank. And Thunder Armor is right here, Thunder Armor 2, Continuous Thunderwall 2 effect. I believe that's take less, it's either less ice or less earth damage. It's probably ice, I think. And Purgatory is when special activates, use HP to increase damage and damage cap. Whatever, don't really care much about that. Night Zone 2 is pretty nice, I do like that one. And that is right over somewhere. Enemy attention drawn +2, take less frontal physical damage is quite useful. And we've also got Cloak of Majesty 2, which is great because that will apply in PvP, and we always know what that does. Take 15% less damage from non-boss enemies. Indomitable Spirit, survive little damage, and recover 50% health. Auto EX Fort is nice. And Decoy. And the last one that he has is Ether Shield, which is literally the only skill that's going to allow him to survive. Nullify Fainting. When close to death, reduce physical damage taken to 0 for 7 seconds. Here's the issue, right? He can still die from magic damage and counter damage. So Amelia's probably still going to just insta-wipe him, unfortunately. Now, let's have a look at just everything that he has, and then I'll have a look at the other Insight skills that he got towards the bottom. And then we'll try him out after that. So, right, for some reason he's got Thunderbolt Lightning Gauge. You could technically make him spam Lightning Gauge if you want to, but it's probably not even going to be that great. Defense, he does have some guard skills and counter for some reason. Auto Protection, he is an outdated unit, so keep that in mind. He's going to have a lot of outdated skills in his kits, like auto skills and not the high version. Yeah, there's not much here, is there? No, there really isn't. But the Transcend skills, take less physical damage and damage taken is nice, but by themselves it's not going to be enough mitigation. And you can tell already that he's just kind of relying on guarding damage mitigation. Human Shield 2, he doesn't have much mitigation, I have to say that. Now let's have a look at the new Insight skills towards the bottom. So, boost special damage 70%. Every 30 seconds after battle start, give unit a buff or damage of next special use plus 100%. I wish it was 100% damage cap as well, that would have been a lot more interesting. special damage cap 200,000, single damage cap, take less damage by 20%, boost ice resistance by 15, thunder by 10, dark by 5, illness resistance, stun resistance, blind resistance, won't flinch from ice and magic attacks, ice physical and magic attacks, and the same thing for thunder, which is quite nice. And the last one here, which could be quite good, honestly, this is probably the best one he has, which I think could be quite interesting, possibly like very slightly tiny, but it's something. Battle start, chance to give rage to all enemies, and physical attack and special damage taken from enemies in rage minus 80% when taking lethal damage, survive and restore medium HP 3 times per wave, each wave. So this is quite interesting to me. The only interesting skill here is the chance to give rage to all enemies at the start of the battle. That could be somewhat useful, slightly. And 80% less damage taken, physical damage and special damage from enemies that have rage could be nice, but it's RNG, right? And here's the problem, is units like Judecca and Shiflog Zeus already have +1 resistance to non-basic status elements, which means they have resistance to rage already. So it's less likely to inflict rage on Judecca and Shiflog Zeus because they already have resistance to it. So it's not very reliable against those units. And yes, Lanceveil does have won't flinch from ice and thunder attacks. So Judecca and Amelia, I know. But he doesn't have enough mitigation in his kit, really doesn't have much. If you look at it, he doesn't provide much mitigation. Yes, he's got a couple of mitigation skills, but compare it to Melzer, I would still consider Melzer to be more tanky, based on what I'm seeing. I suppose the best thing that Lanceveil does have is this thing, which take 80% less damage from enemies that have rage. I wish it was all damage taken, because that would have been a lot better, and not just physical or special damage, but whatever, it's still fine. But it is RNG, and he's just going to get one-tapped by counter damage. Like, a single Magius counter is going to kill him instantly. So, and his defense isn't even that high right here. That's all of his insight skills. Equipment, he does have his paid weapon. It isn't at max level. He does get a bit more damage mitigation and guard rates and defense from this when it's at max level. So let's try him out, but don't expect much. I can't really showcase him here because he's a tank. He does have this Ark, which gives thunder damage and skill damage to closest enemy, but it's not going to be enough. You're going to see here, he can't even hit damage cap. I just want to see what his defense looks like. Pretty bad. I know you could give him more defense and HP stats with insight materials, but I wish it was higher than that at least. So he is just a tank. Don't expect anything from him. He's not going to work as a damage dealer. I just wanted to, you know, show off the animations. Skill 3 has a chance to inflict stun, by the way. And you can see the enemy does have rage from the battle start effect. And if you don't know what rage does, it's quite useful. Can't use magic, boost attack, reduce defense. So here's the issue with rage, right? Is rage can be considered a positive and a negative. The reason why it can be a positive on the unit is because if this rage element is on your physical damage dealer, it's technically giving them more damage because it's increasing their attack. So that's why it's a bit of a weird element, right? But if you have Rage, the biggest downside is you can't use magic, so it's kind of like Silence, but it also reduces your defense. So I like Rage, but inflicting Rage in like PvP isn't really that useful. The only use you could get out of it is preventing a mage from casting, I suppose. But it's still RNG, so it's not reliable. I just want to see if I can inflict stun on the skill tree. Rage is already gone. I don't see any stun. Yeah, don't expect much from this unit. He's not going to do very much. And I'll try a special out, but... yeah. It looks like it does a lot, but it doesn't. This enemy just has very low health. That was doing like 200,000 or something per hit, and that wasn't even hitting damage cap. And it doesn't even have that much hits on the special, so... yeah, he's not a PvE unit. He is mostly just for PvP, and even then, I don't consider him to be that good in PvP. So he's kind of a mostly useless unit. The only use I can see from him is the Battle Start Rage element. That's the only use I could see out of that you could get out of him, is this one skill. That's it. Everything else isn't enough to make him tanky. I suppose you do have Ether Shield, which can, you know, allow him to not take damage for 7 seconds, but after those 7 seconds are up, he's probably going to be dead anyways, because he just doesn't have enough mitigation in his kit to survive any current meta damage dealer, like Judeka, or Shift-Lord Zeus, or Benimaru. All of those units are going to just one-shot him, no problem, I think, so... yeah, I don't think he's going to be that useful of a unit, and you can easily skip this unit. And if you are wondering, is he worth 5,000 free crystals? Definitely not. He's pretty much useless. You're never going to be using him in PvE content unless you want to randomly inflict rage at the start of the battle, but we have better units for that. It's called Gobble. Gobble's the better unit for rage. If you want a reliable rage application, Gobble's a better unit for that, for PvE content, and it can do more than that too, so... guess what's funny? Gobble's more useful than Lanceveil's Insight in PvE content. I know. But yeah, this unit is just kinda... I don't expect him to do very much, really. I don't know why they keep making Insight units so bad. Like, all of these units, all of these Insight units, apart from Lena and Melza, have been kind of bad and kind of meh, you know? I know you shouldn't expect them to be turned into meta units instantly, but I want them to at least be somewhat viable in some way. But I suppose Dilmordo could be kind of viable. And Lila was decent, but like Lanceveil in particular, kind of like Prince Scorm, they're pretty similar, and by that I mean they're both tanks, and they're both bad tanks that, you know, can't survive very much at all. So yeah, they're kind of both very bad, if I'm honest. So yeah, just probably ignore this Insight unit. I don't think it's going to be that useful. Yeah. So I think that's everything I wanted to cover today. Insight Mia would be nice. I don't see it happening though. Yeah, they've been really slow on releasing Insight units for a while. I wish they would release more. Like, I would expect base Eliza to be next, because we just had Lanceveil, but that's probably not the case, because if you didn't know, Eliza, the base form of Eliza and Lanceveil both released at the same time. So it would have made sense if they both got Insight at the same time. They really should have done that. That was a missed opportunity right there. They really should have given Eliza Insight as well, because Lanceveil released at the same time as Eliza. It would have been nice. Maybe she could have been somewhat of a useful mage with Meteor Rain and stuff, because like mage insights for mages have a lot more potential than just you know, a useless tank or physical damage dealer like Lanceveil is. Some people were hoping Dora would be a counter unit with Insight, and that could be funny, but I doubt that would even be that good. And I think Sevia could be fun, but I just think most of these units, they're probably not going to be that great. They're probably not going to be able to do much with. Maybe Medine is another tank type unit. She's a knight. She's another tank unit, right? I don't exactly know what she does, but her insight, her insight could be something, but it's probably just going to be similar to Gorm and Lanceveil, just useless, right? It's probably going to be useless. Yeah. What about Insight for the base form of Lily could be fun, just because I like Lily. I don't know. I think Logia's Insight, when he gets Insight, that could potentially be pretty strong, if he does get Insight, because he was such a strong unit for such a long time. It was pretty crazy. I wonder if Baran and Rabala and those types of units will get Insight. Like, they should give Logzeus... Give base forms Logzeus Insight would be funny. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really expect much from Insight units anymore, because they're just underwhelming most of the time. I don't think Gorov has Insight yet, but even if he did, it would probably be kind of bad. I don't know. I was just hoping that they would get more, like, unique effects. I suppose Lanceveil having the rage at the start of the battle was kind of a unique effect, but even then, yeah. Well, I think I'm going to leave it there for today. I don't think there's really anything else for me to do for now. Unfortunately, Guild Battle is still not here, because they found another problem, which is just sort of stupid. It's annoying. I wanted to use my new attack team to try it out, but no, they don't give me a chance. Sad. But yeah, I do want to talk about these gachas towards the end of this, so I'll finish this off today. Conclusion about this update, I mean, it's okay. It has some events, which is the best thing, and my favorite thing about this update is the quality of life changes, allowing you to exchange for multiple things at once in the trading space now is my favorite part about this update. But the units in this update are pretty underwhelming. You have Shinobi Lilebette, the player's choice unit. She's just very underwhelming in my opinion, and not that great of a unit, because her skill 3 just takes an incredibly long time. It's not very fun to use her skill 3, personally, for PvE content. It just feels too slow. Her skill 1 and skill 2 are alright, but you're not going to get much DPS out of any of her skills, so she's pretty underwhelming, and I don't think she's really going to work in PvP either. So she is going to be an easy skip for basically every single player, unless you really like this unit. If you like the unit, then do what you like, but I do always like to, you know, make sure everyone's aware of what you should and should not be pulling on, and like giving information on what's good and not, because if a unit's bad, of course I'm going to say that it's bad. If it's good, I'm going to say it's good, you know. But this unit in particular is just one of those bad units that doesn't provide anything to your account whatsoever. She doesn't have any unique buffs or debuffs or anything. She's just a damage dealer, and not even a good damage dealer. So she's an easy skip for everyone. Because she doesn't provide any value for your account, there are much better units that can provide a lot more than this Lilibet. You've got better banners going on right now than this new banner, and this Judeka banner is a lot better of a banner than Lilibet's banner, because Judeka is 1%. No chance. That's a clown move right there. That's so funny. Yeah, that unit is so bad. Skip this. I don't want to hate on the unit so much, because that just sounds like I'm being too negative, okay? But she is bad. She isn't that great. Judeka's quite good. He's very strong in PvP, currently a meta PvP unit, and in PvE content he's also pretty strong. If you can spam his skill 3, his DPS is actually strong enough to be able to be used in endgame content. And you would have seen that if you've seen my Kraken Battleground Simulator video. He's strong enough to clear that difficulty 300 eventually. So yeah, I don't like the fact that they lock Fatal Strike chance behind paid weapons, because Fatal Strike is kind of a big part of the unit's kits. But if you think of it in a different way, all you're getting is just a bit more, you know, a tiny bit more DPS. Yes, you're seeing more Fatal Strike numbers, but it still sucks that it's behind a paid weapon. But don't get it, because it's not worth it for that unit. And we've also got this banner available, Archbishop Lebrecht, for another week. If you don't have her and you're missing a strong support unit, or if you already have Judeka, then it might be worth considering to try to get this unit, because she is an insanely strong support unit, one of the best support units available right now, and she is like on the same level as Talistio and Emperor Lelouch. She can be better in some situations. She's more of a niche unit, but when you know how to use her properly, you can get a lot more out of her than some other support units. So she's a unit that I like quite a bit now, because her design is amazing, and she is a bit different to use than a typical support unit. Because a support unit, you would just be casting debuffs and allowing them to normal attack, and that's kind of it. But with this unit, you do need to force her skills. You need to spam her skill 1 to inflict a defense debuff, and she also got laceration, and you got to inflict laceration to get this actual damage taken plus 50,000 debuff. So she's more of a unique support unit, which is what I like about this unit. But it does take a bit more micromanaging than other support units, so she's not as easy to use as other support units. She's not necessary, but she is a very good pull. Even if you already have every single support unit already, she's still a good pull. For long term, she's going to be viable for a very long time. So I think right now your best banner options are definitely Judeka's banner and Archbishop Lebrecht's banner. This is a rerun of Lebrecht's banner, but she is an amazing unit. She's probably going to be more useful than Judeka, but Judeka can be very strong in PvP. Honestly, they can both be good in PvP, but Archbishop Lebrecht is more for guild battles than arena, really. Judeka being able to be used in basically all content does make him quite useful and quite valuable. He's the type of damage dealer that is good enough to be used in like basically any stage, like arena and guild battles and Battleground Simulator raid bosses. As long as you can hit weakness, he's going to be quite strong. So yeah, Judeka's banner and Lebrecht's banner are two decent banners. Skip Lilibette's banner, pretend it doesn't exist, because it's just a pretty useless banner in my opinion. You've got an SSR Ark and this unit, which is kind of underwhelming. So yeah, highly recommend to try saving as many crystals as you can for the upcoming Brave Frontier collab, because it could be as soon as 2 weeks from now. It could be in 2 weeks from now. And if it is, then you're going to need to get to saving your crystals, because, yeah. Got her in a single pool. Well, here's the positive thing about that. 1,000 free crystals. There you go, you got more free crystals back, so it's a win-win situation, I suppose. Can't complain about it. So, in 2 weeks, it will be the 4th of June, and in the calendar of upcoming events, it says Brave Frontier collab is going to be in June, so that could start in 2 weeks. If it doesn't, then it's definitely going to be the 2 weeks after that. So that means Brave Frontier collab is guaranteed to be in either 2 or 4 weeks. Okay, so keep that in mind. You've got either 2 or 4 weeks, depending on what's coming in 2 weeks. It's either going to be the collab or another unit. I would expect the collab, but I don't know. Wait and see. So I recommend to save that for now. It's going to be a chill, relaxing time until the collab happens, I think. I'm waiting for that. I'm hoping they're doing some exciting stuff for that collab. And I know a lot of players are waiting for that collab in particular. They're quite excited about it. I'm not super excited because I never really played the game, but I am looking forward to it at least because I think it's going to be fun. And then we'll wait and see what happens from there. So, I'm going to leave it there for today. Has Arena ended or started? No, not yet. Really? Well, there's so many issues going on right now with guild battles and Arena both not being on right now. Is weird. The only thing you have to do right now is the event and Tower Trials. I'll show you one thing I've been working on. So, I've already done videos on the Tree Man, and the Kraken, and the Worm. Next on my list is Reaper. I'm working on Reaper next. Hopefully I can get to 300 and beat 300 against Reaper. That's my next goal. I'm going to be doing that. And if I can beat 300, then I'll get a video out on that. I just wish that more people were interested in Battleground Simulator, because to me it just feels like not many people are watching those. So, I don't know. I'm probably still going to continue to do them because I like doing them, and I like to, you know, show off, and maybe it can, well, show off the Battleground Simulator and stuff. And show what I've been using, and hopefully help people out with this stuff. That's the main reason why I've been making videos on Battleground Simulator, is to hopefully maybe push people into doing Battleground Simulator more, and to help people out to progress higher in Battleground Simulator is the main reason why I've been doing videos on this. Yeah, I know a lot of people are like, can't be bothered, they get lazy. I get it, because once you go past 250, you can only go by one difficulty at a time. It takes a lot of time to get to there. Difficulty 300. I don't think I really need to explain how rerolls stuff works. Yeah, I know. Like, here's what I'm realizing. You know, I think I had a realization once I've been seeing not many people watching Battleground Simulator videos. I think I'm realizing that not many players actually like watching endgame content, and most players are more casual players in this game. So, I like covering more endgame stuff. Most players in this game are probably more casual players. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, Reaper is a pain in the ass, but yeah, I would rather cover something than nothing. That's the thing, yeah. And yes, I could be doing all of this thing like how like all of these newer player stuff and whatever, but and more reroll videos and stuff like that for newer players and things like that. But I personally don't enjoy that as much as doing endgame content videos. I like doing these Battleground Simulator videos, so that's why I've been posting those, because I enjoy doing those. But other things like what I already mentioned with beginners stuff, I don't enjoy covering as much, and there isn't much to cover. And when people tell me, how do I do Histomia? I need a video on Histomia. Well, I'm not going to do a video on Histomia because it's just too easy. I said it. It's not worth me doing a video on Histomia. Okay? It's just not. Like, I'm honest with everything. It's not worth me doing a video, because one team carries the entire Histomia things. Yeah, definitely another banner to skip for sure. Yeah, but here's the thing though, is I try my best to give alternatives to what you could use. And when I go over like recommended equipments and all that kind of stuff, I try and show and mention other possible options for those things. Because I know that not everyone's going to have the collab skills available, but that's just kind of how this game goes. And I feel like if I do a video on Thunderbirds showing that I'm using Riser, I feel like people are not going to like that because I'm using Riser. And hardly any players have Riser. Most skip Riser, and most probably didn't even pull in that collab because it was kind of a underwhelming collab, if I'm honest. But, you know, it's just kind of in a tough situation, really. But yeah. I know, but things like that are like challenging myself. Personal challenging myself just to beat the content for no reason. Just like what Tweaks has been doing, uploading Battleground Simulator videos with no honey elixir or anything. I respect that, but I personally don't care about doing stuff like that. I just care about beating it with the stuff I have, because if I have the stuff, why am I not allowed to use it? Because other people don't have it? It doesn't make sense. If you don't have it, then work with what you have and look at alternatives. That's what I try and help people out with, is alternatives. And even if like I use one specific team, you don't have to copy it, because you could easily slot in a unit for something else. Like in this team in particular, you don't have to use Archbring Breath. You could use Telestio, you could use Emperor Lelouch, you could use all these different units, as long as they have the Extrain. You know, a lot of it comes with game knowledge. I think that game knowledge is what a lot of people lack. And newer players, obviously there's a lot of more casual newer players in the game. So yeah, it's understandable, I suppose. But yeah, about Histomia, basically all you need, Logzaeus, Spirit Main, and Sarah, and that's it. That's all you need. And maybe a third unit can be like another support unit. That's all you need. Like, I don't even need to tell you how to beat the stages, because the one stage, one team can beat every single one of these stages. I mean, I could do that and put it in a video, but like, I don't see the point. Yeah, I wish it wasn't multiplayer only, but I feel like some people, when they say they want a Histomia guide, I feel like they are talking about the solo stage, because they might be struggling with those. So I mostly think about the solo stages. Use a team like this. If you don't have this team, look up your alternatives, dude. Like, yeah, I think it's just I don't know. Why did that appear? I don't know why that appeared. I'm not gonna cause drama and everything about it. I am here to try and help people at the end of the day. That's why I do these videos. Try to help out players, have fun with it all. It's the main reason why I'm here. I know there's like, it sometimes gets annoying, but not much you can do about it. But yeah. There are places where newer players can ask for information though, like Discord and stuff like that. Yeah, Shift Ark can be used as well, for sure. My favourite team is still... My favourite team is still this team. Reason being, you can break really quickly with Riser and Shift Ark. You can break incredibly quickly with those two units. And then the boss can't do anything when they're broken. So you can just spam skills and output damage while they're just sitting there because they're broken and can't do anything. This is my favourite like cheese team. You just break the boss, they can't do anything to you whatsoever. And if the boss has a low enough break bar, you could use this Arc skill to instantly break them. It's quite hilarious. I'm going to show one more thing and then I'm going to finish it off today because I think I've been talking for a while. I did grind this. I've been busy. I have been busy, yes. I've been grinding this over the past 2 weeks or so, and I finished it a few days ago. So I've got all of these done. I hope everyone else has some good progress on these because they are worth doing. They are all very strong. Every single one of these are very strong. Highly recommend to get all of them eventually. It just takes a long time, but it's worth it. If you're going to ask which one is the best one to get, it depends on what units you have, but this one for Shift Ark is probably the best one. If you have Shift Ark, that's probably going to benefit him the most for the break team. And this one's probably the next best one if you don't have Shift Ark, or if you've already got it, then this one, because Nullify Fainting is so useful. But they're all very strong, so it's kind of hard to rate them. I know, but if I look at transmutated stuff really quick, wherever it is, I've done a few of them. I don't know, it should be Godforge, right? Yeah. I've done a few of the transmutated equipment, but not all of them. I haven't done this one yet. This is the one I would consider getting next, but that's the one I haven't done yet. I've done 2 of them already. I've done the machine. I've done this one already. And I've also done the clothes as well. But it's really not worth it. It's just not really worth it at all. It's just not worth it. It really isn't. But, you know, it's because they're too niche for specific elements and stuff. It's just not worth the investment. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there today. If you want to discuss anything, you can always do that in the Discord. It takes such a long time. I hope they don't add more. I really hope they don't add more. But yeah. I think over the next 2 weeks, I am probably going to be chilling, doing the event, probably not doing too much other than Battleground Simulator. I think I'm just going to focus on this boss over the next 2 weeks and do the event. and that's probably it. And we'll wait and see what's in 2 weeks, if it's the collab or if it's another unit. I'm hoping it's the collab in 2 weeks. If not, then it's going to be 2 weeks after that. So maximum of 4 weeks. They should be teasing it very soon. They should tease it next week if it is going to be in 2 weeks. So if they start having a live stream and teasers and all that stuff next week, then it's guaranteed that the collab is going to be in 2 weeks from now. But we'll wait and see on that one. I'll leave that there for today. There might be 3 units, who knows. I would expect there to be 3 units. I expect it, honestly. I don't think it's going to be 2. It's going to be more than 2. Because it's such a big collab, I think it's going to be more than 2. But yeah, I'll leave that there for today. I'll have the timestamps very soon, in the next 15 minutes or so. And I'll see everyone in 2 weeks. Maybe if I've beaten difficulty 300 of the Reaper Battlegraph Simulator boss in a week or so, then I'll upload a video on that. But if not, then I'll just keep working on that, and then I'll be back in 2 weeks for hopefully the collab. If not, then it's probably some other Descendant of Heroes unit or something. We'll have to see. But yeah, keep saving your crystals because the collab is coming up very soon. Highly recommend to save for that, because you never know if it's even going to have a rerun in the future. It might not even get a rerun. So yeah, I'll see you in 2 weeks.